Distress, an essential subject from Vinipedia. When we get something desirable we are very happy, and when we get something undesirable we are distressed. But when we come to the spiritual level, these so-called worldly distresses seem trivial and stop agitating us. The real cause of the living entity's distress is forgetfulness of his relationship with God, and the cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer of all the activities of the human being, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the sincerest friend of all living entities. When we meditate on the Lord and serve Him as His devotees, He removes all our distresses and satisfies their desires. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinicote's distress category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 8 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. Non-violence is generally taken to mean not killing or destroying the body, but actually non-violence means not to put others into distress. So unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. Bhagavad Gita 13.8-12. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Him, the Lord, upon whom one should always meditate. He destroys insults to His devotees. He removes the distresses of His devotees and satisfies their desires. He, the abode of all holy places and the shelter of all sages, is worshipable by Lord Eva and Lord Brahm. He is the boat of the demigods for crossing the ocean of birth and death. Kaitanya Karatam Ta, DLL 2.22. God is merciful undoubtedly, but He bestows His mercy on us when we need it most. This is so because we forget God as soon as we obtain this mercy. We should therefore remember the mercy of God constantly if we want to avoid distress. Light of the Bhagavata, Chapter 3. After attaining full Krishna consciousness, the devotee does not return to this material world after death. He goes back home, back to Godhead. That is the perfect stage of happiness, unblemished by any trace of distress. Armad Bhagavatam 4.25. 4. Even if one is not born in a Brahma family but has Brahminical qualifications, he must be considered a Brahma. By strictly following this system, one can be happy without extra endeavor. Svabhvahito dharmakasyani aprante. The real aim of life is to mitigate distress, and one can do this very easily by following the principles of Stra. Armad Bhagavatam 7.15. 14. Although one is acting according to false ambitions, he thinks he can improve his material conditions by his activities. The Vedas enjoin that one should not try to increase happiness or decrease distress, for this is futile. Tasyeva hito prateta kovida. One should work for self-realization, not for economic development, which is impossible to improve. Without endeavor, one can get the amount of happiness and distress for which he is destined, and one cannot change this. Armad Bhagavatam 7.7. 42. At the present moment human society is overly influenced by the mode of passion, and consequently people are engaged in working in big factories. They forget how distressful it is to live in such places. In Bhagavad Gita such activities are described as yugrakarma, that is, distressful activities. Those who utilize the energies of the worker are called capitalists, and those who actually perform the work are called laborers. In actuality they are both capitalists, and the workers are in the modes of passion and ignorance. The result is that there is always a distressful situation. Armad Bhagavatam 4.29. 28. In the material world, sex life is the cause of many distresses on account of material contact. Therefore, the sex life in the material world should not be encouraged beyond the necessity. There is a necessity for generating progeny even in the material world, but such generation of children must be carried out with full responsibility for spiritual values. Armad Bhagavatam 2.6. 8.